Hello, everyone. It's Todd Ledbetter from All Music, and today we have got my top six favorite albums of 1972. And I'm just not going to be playing any music. I'm just going to be talking about the albums and showing you some of the songs. But these are my top albums picks from 1972 in the kind of the rock and roll genre, different subgenres or whatever. But let's get started with the very first one, and that would be my number six. Would be Lou Reed, and the album is called Transformer, and it was released in '72. Like I said, all these are going to be released in '72. It's got 11 songs at 36 minutes, and there's some great songs. This is a really good album. This is the album that's got Walk on the Wild Side on it, and it's got Satellite of Love on it. But this is really, really a fun album and little, it's Lou Reed, so it's a little kind of quirky. But if you like that kind of thing, then maybe you want to give this album a listen. But I enjoy it. I like it. It's grown on me for sure. And his Lou Reed's whole style of music has grown on me over the years. But I really like this album a lot. Um, so that's number six, and then number five is going to be Steely Dan. Can't Buy a Thrill. 10 songs on that. It's 40 minutes long. This is a great album. Um, it's got Do It Again. It's got Dirty Work. It's got Only a Fool Would Say That. It's got Reeling in the Years, Fire in the Hole, Change of the Guard. Oh, these are all great songs. It's such a beautiful, beautiful album, and just fantastic musicianship all the ways around. I don't know if you're familiar with the way uh, they recorded those albums with studio musicians, and they'd have whole different bands come in and do the songs. Whole different bands do the whole songs, and they'd pick out the best parts. It's pretty interesting the way they went about recording albums. Walter Becker and Donald Fagen. All right, so that's number five. That brings me to number four. We've got none other than David Bowie. We got the rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders of Mars from Mars. Really cool album. It's got a 38 minutes of music on here, and it's got some classics on here. It's got the old Suffragette City. It's got Ziggy Stardust on it. It's got Lady Stardust, Starman, uh, Moon Age Daydream. These are just all really, really cool songs. Definitely a great album, and it's my number four pick for 1972 releases. Number three, we're going to go with Neil Young and Harvest. Another fantastic album, but Neil Young, kind of a mellower acoustic, sort of album. A lot of his classic songs came off of this album. Harvest for one, A Man Needs a Maid, Heart of Gold was a huge hit. Old Man, love that song. Then there's also The Needle and the Damage is Done. I love that song. That's probably one of my favorite Neil Young songs of all time. But a fantastic album. This is a remaster from 2009, but you can see here it says 1972 release. All right, so that is number three. Number four is Deep Purple, Machine Head, released in 1972. Only got 7 songs on it, but it is crazy good. This is a classic album. I've listened to this album many times over the years. I've been going back to it even recently. I still listen to it. I really, really love Highway Star. It's a super awesome song. And Sammy Hagar has a version of Highway Star that he plays with his band Chickenfoot, and you can find it on YouTube. And it looks like they're in like Mexico at Sammy Hagar's Cabo Wabo or whatever it's called. It's called Cabo Wabo, but I think that's where they're at. Um, but Satriani is playing guitar. Chad Smith is on drums from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Michael Anthony is on bass from Van Halen, and then of course Sammy Hagar. And it is a smoking version of Highway Star, but the original is still my favorite. A couple other great songs here too that are, I mean, they're all great, but Smoke on the Water. I mean, everybody knows Smoke on the Water. That's the first song anybody ever learned on their guitar that ever tried to learn how to play the guitar. So it's got Smoke on the Water, and then Space Truckin' as well is a super awesome song. I love that song too. Just a great album. A lot of crunching guitar lead and those keyboards. So cool. And that brings me to my favorite. As you probably know, or if you don't know, you're soon going to find out that I'm a huge Genesis fan. This is a Genesis album called Foxtrot that was released in 1972. This is early Genesis. This is before all the hits in the 80s and the 90s. Although this does have Peter Gabriel in the band. A lot of people know Genesis with Peter Gabriel as the lead vocalist, but he's the drummer here. He does do some backing vocals, and he does sing some songs on some of these albums. But that's Phil Collins I'm talking about. Peter Gabriel is the singer, and so I don't know if you knew that Peter Gabriel was a singer of Genesis at one time. A lot of people do. It's also Mike Rutherford is on bass, Steve Hackett on guitar, and Tony Banks on keyboards. A lot of fans of Genesis some fans are like fans of the older music, like this one here, the 70s music that they put out. Super great. Some of the fans just think after Peter Gabriel quit or left the band that Genesis was never the same, and it really wasn't never the same. But I'm not saying it wasn't as good. I still liked a lot of albums where Phil Collins was leading Genesis on as the lead vocalist. But then after Steve Hackett left the band, after a few more albums, a lot of old hardcore Genesis fans really don't care for Genesis much after that. But I still kind of like a lot of their albums a lot. That it was just three of them. It was just Peter Gabriel and Tony Banks and Mike Rutherford after Steve Hackett and Peter Gabriel left. And then it got into the 90s where some of the songs, were more kind of popish and I almost couldn't tell them apart from the just the Phil Collins solo stuff. But this is not that. This is a very unique album. A lot of keyboards, a lot of great guitar playing and great storytelling. Check out Watchers of the Sky is one of my favorite songs. Get 'Em Out by Friday, Can Utility and the Coastliners, great song. And then, of course, Supper's Ready check it out, 23 minutes and 6 seconds. It's an epic song that just takes you on a journey all over the musical tapestry and storytelling. Super great album. It's my favorite album out of my top 6 of 1972 that was released then. It's 51 minutes long. It's only 6 songs, but it's super long. It's way longer than most of those other albums that were 31, 32, 38 minutes. So that's my top 6 picks from 1972, and that's it right there. Now I'm interested to know if you like any of these albums. And if not, tell me why. But if you haven't heard of like some of them, or like Genesis, you're not familiar with that older stuff, let me know. I encourage you to take a listen to them. But let me know what your top 6 are, your top 5 or whatever. Just put it down in the comments, and it'd be fun for me to see what you like from 1972 as far as a whole album, not just a song, but a whole album. So that's going to be it for today. My top picks for 1972, favorite albums. And please remember to like and comment. Let me know what you think and what your favorite songs are. So comment down below, and then subscribe and click that notification bell. Super important. And also, if you want to help support the channel, there's a few other ways by joining my Patreon. You can join on there for like a few bucks a month, and I'm posting extra content on there that I can't post on any other on YouTube. Plus, there's merch if you want a coffee mug or a T-shirt, and I also have Life Boost Coffee, which is a really good organic coffee that is super delicious. It's way better than anything you can get around town at the coffee shops or in the grocery stores. It's a super high quality coffee. It's a little bit expensive. But It is worth it. It's super good if you're a coffee snob. You're going to want to try it. And I have a discount code down below in the description. So just kind of scroll down there, click see more, and you'll find the Life Boost link with the discount code there, Todd30. So use that to get that. So those are some of the ways that you can support the channel if you have any interest. I appreciate you guys watching, and we will check back with you very soon with 1973.